Hey, what's up, guys? Journey of Weight Loss here, or JRYs as my name shows. I should have been introducing myself as that for the entire time. My daughter just pointed that out to me, and I feel kind of foolish. But you win some, you lose some. But I am at 10.5 miles for the day. I'm trying to get to about 11, maybe 11.5 for the day. But don't forget, the weigh-in is coming tomorrow. I'm hoping to be down 2 or 3 pounds. If I'm not, it's not the end of the world, but I've put in a lot of hard work this week, a lot of early hours, and honestly a couple late hours because I just didn't get the amount of miles in during the day that I thought I would. So, so before we get into my topics, I just wanted to mention this video is brought to you by MYVOICE and ME, both of which have been around since 1985, but they really didn't start out until 1986. They've been around for, quite a few decades, and their sole intent is to make JRYs a very popular YouTuber. So let's get at it, guys. And if you didn't get that, it's my voice and me. So I'm wearing it out. I'm even getting a little. I need to find a new one, I guess. So, all right. Today's topics are, let's see, the World Cup reactions, Ryan Reynolds, and a situation in New York involving a young man and Burger King. So let's get at it. So the World Cup, I've been watching these reaction videos, and I'm very, very proud of the United States, hearing some of the reactions these guys have, and how beautiful our country is, and how well-mannered everyone is, and how kind they are. And it just, I'm proud. And these guys are saying, wow, we had no idea the United States was like this. We've been told so, everything is so bad and different, and then we come here and it's great. These guys were nervous to come here because what they have been told by their leaders and more or less the internet and the media. So to get that kind of reaction online is wonderful. But the big one I want to talk about are the food reactions. These guys love KFC. They love Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. It's just it's even the Walmart chicken burgers, whatever they're called, chicken sandwiches. I didn't know Walmart sold those, but I'm gonna have to go try one, I guess. Have to do it on my cheat day, I suppose. Anyhow, it's really cool to see, and it's very funny, it's entertaining. But the one that I really want to hit on is, if anyone from Europe and the UK or France or Spain or Italy, if any of you guys see this video and you want to go in partners with me on creating a ranch distribution center over there, let's do it, because I'm seeing people talk about how much they love ranch and they're smuggling it home with them. I had no idea it wasn't readily available in Europe. It just, that's news to me. I just assumed everybody had ranch. It's common here. It's a condiment that you get practically with anything you order. So let's do this, guys. Let's go. Let's make a ranch distribution center in the UK, and we'll have it all through Europe. We'll be billionaires in a matter of months because these guys love their ranch. Let's do it. So like, share, and subscribe, and comment below if you want to do it. So all right. So on a more serious note, I wanted to talk about Ryan Reynolds, and the media is saying that Ryan Reynolds is blacklisted essentially from any more pictures, and I don't believe that for one second. I think that is just entirely clickbait. They're trying to spin up a story because of what happened with with the Taylor Swift and the Blake Lively feud and how they were snubbed from the wedding and blah, 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 blah. You know, I don't believe that for one sec. That Ryan Reynolds is the face of Deadpool. And that movie made like $3 billion or $1.3 billion. I don't remember the number, but a lot of money. And that's just one movie I'm referring to, the most recent one with Wolverine. The other ones, goodness gracious, they probably, altogether, they probably made, who knows, you know, $1 trillion. I couldn't tell you, but there is no way that they're going to let Ryan Reynolds walk away from starring as Deadpool. It's just not in their best interest. Oh, he's been on an 18-month break. Well, yeah, he did the Wolverine movie, the Deadpool and Wolverine, and then there was a situation with his wife and the director. I don't remember his name, Bondini or something. I don't know. And, you know, and that had to play its course. He also sold Mint Mobile to, I think, Verizon or AT&T, one of those big guys. He made $300 million from that. Then he sold the gin distillery and probably made another $300 million from that. The man's busy. And you can't sit here and tell me that he's going to be blacklisted from Hollywood because of some stuff that came up through the lawsuit thing that went on. It's clickbait. Don't fall for it, guys. I say that, but they got me. You know, I clicked on it as soon as I saw it, but I immediately went, yeah, that's bull crap. So you know, the next topic I want to talk about is the Burger King situation. This young man living in New York. It was around 1 o'clock or so. I'm hungry. I'm going to go get some lunch from Burger King. And on his way there, he passed a police officer about, you know, a quarter mile to the Burger King. And, you know, anytime you see a cop, what's your automatic reaction? You slow down, you put your hands attended to, and you make sure your seatbelt's on. That's what he did. Goes in, there's no line for his food. He's in and out 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. On his way back by, the cop immediately pulls out behind him once he passed him and pulls him over and tells him, you didn't use your turn signal. Well, you know, okay, license, registration. Guy gets out of stuff. He's a little nervous, rightfully so. I don't know anybody who doesn't get nervous when they get pulled over. I had 2 cops around me today, one in front, one behind me. And as soon as I saw them, I'm like, oh, shaking in my seat. You know, I'm not even doing anything wrong, but I knew they were running my tag. And, you know, for all I know, I had a running light out or something, and they pulled me over for that. You know, you get nervous. It's a human reaction. It's just plain and simple. So the cop went back to his car, or I'm sorry, he asked him what he was doing. And the gentleman responded, oh, I came down to get some lunch. Cop takes his license and registration, goes back to his car, is running his information, calls his boss, says, hey, man, I've got this guy pulled over. He's acting all, you know, he's shaking when he hands me his stuff, and he was only at the Burger King for 2 seconds, and you know, he said he was going down to get breakfast. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They don't serve breakfast anymore. And made a big deal about it too. Big deal about the lunch. Well, the guy said he was getting lunch. He never said he was getting breakfast. The cop intentionally flip-flopped him around to make the narrative fit. And I'm confident of that because it was a pretextual stop. He said he didn't use his turn signal early enough before he turned. And good luck disproving that, you know. It's his word against yours. So, and unfortunately, in New York City, pretextual stops are permitted. They're not in every state, but New York is one of them. So he goes back to the car and starts telling the kid, you know, that he suspects that there's drugs in the car, and asks if he could search it. And right, you know, the kid was right. He said, no, I don't want you to do that. And then he asked him to get out of the car. And the young man said, do I have to? He was very polite the entire time. He never raised his voice. He never sounded like he was nervous, nothing. He was very calm. I wish I could be like that all the time, but nope, not me. And the cop said, yeah, you don't have a choice in this. And if you don't, I'm going to arrest you for obstruction. Immediately went to threatening him with arrest for obstruction. And at that point in time, the cop, you know, he was building a case the entire time against this poor kid because of one thing. He was at the Burger King for less than 5 minutes. I don't see how you could you could say that's a sign of narcotics selling or whatever it is, because he was only at the Burger King for a few minutes. It doesn't add up. And I don't think that somebody should be allowed to, or I don't think somebody should have to go through what this guy went through because he went to get some lunch and the cop flipped his words around on him and tried to use it to his benefit, you know, to build his case. So anyhow, the cop said, I want to search your car. The kid declined. He contacted the canine to come down and do a sweep around the car. Well, the cops have an obligation to only keep you detained as long as it takes to basically write the ticket. It's got to be a reasonable amount of time. That's the law. And the canine couldn't get there fast enough, so they had to cut him loose. And what really bothers me about the whole situation, the young man pulled his phone out to start filming and didn't exaggerate what had happened. He said what had happened pretty much word for word. And the cop heard that and started yelling at him about exaggerating what had happened and all this kind of stuff. And got very nasty with him and very rude. And he was wrong the entire time. So I saw this on Southern Draw Law. Excuse me, there's mosquitoes all around me. Southern Draw Law did it got the dash cam and basically did a very a good estimate on when the young man used his turn signal, and it was well within the feet allowed. You know, he was good, so the stop was null and void. The ticket did get dismissed, but when the young man went to talk to the IA cop, because they launched an investigation for this, because he didn't take this line down, he posted it all over YouTube, and, you know, wanting to hold them accountable, and that is, I love it. Hold them accountable. Like I said before, I am not anti-police, but this type of stuff should not be permitted in the United States, and it needs to stop. It needs to end. There needs to be training, or more training. The cadet program needs to last at least a year, and you know, they need to do better constitutional training for these officers, because they're out here violating people's rights every day, and it's not right. So long story short, the kid did take a line down, and he spoke to the IA officer, and they basically condone the officer's actions, which is just unacceptable. It baffles me, and I don't think the cop needs to be fired, but he definitely needs to be retrained. And that's the thing, when situations like this happen, whether the findings are substantiated, the internal affairs and the chiefs and the lieutenants and the captains and all that kind of stuff, they need to take a step back and look at it through the eyes of the person that was wronged and say, okay, I can see where they're coming from. They're right. We need to train these guys to have a little compassion, a little sympathy, and, you know, understand the Constitution. They swore an oath to it, but 9 out of 10 of them can't repeat it to you. They write off a piece of paper and they enforce their emotions at the time of the stops. And, you know, that's not fair. It's not right. So, anyhow, like, share, and subscribe. Drop your comments below. And, again, let's get this ranch business going. I want to make some money. These people love it. They're trying to smuggle it home, which I'm sure they can take it home. But let's help them out. Let's streamline it and get it to them, guys. All right, have a good night. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for the check-in, or, you know, weigh-in. I'm going to try and do it bright and early. Maybe I'll do it live one day once I grow a little bigger. But, well, I've grown big enough. That's why I'm out here trying to lose weight. But I meant the channel. So have a good night, guys. Take care.